Good afternoon, folks. Hope you're doing well. It's a lovely day down here in Somerset. Hope it's nice where you are. Just watched a few videos today, as is my wont. Is that the phrase? As I tend to do. Lots going on as usual. Just trying to not take the bait on Twitter for certain things, and but yeah, it's crazy stuff, isn't it? I just watched a really good video by Amanda Gazide's channel. I'll link it below. It's a short video called "What is Fascism? Grassroots Politics." Saying that there's going to be some kind of a solidarity rally happening in Glastonbury, which is a little bit away from me, but I used to spend a lot of time around there some time ago. I don't know why I started talking like that, but yeah, it's this idea of the anti-fascist community solidarity rally, and Amanda's asking, well, who are the fascists and who are they talking about when they're talking about we're going to have unity against these people? Who are the people that they're talking about? There's a lot of this stuff goes on, doesn't it? And I spent years on the interwebs, maybe some of you have as well, sort of seeing people denounced or pointed out as fascists or far right, alt right, hard right. There's all different sort of appellations they're given, that, and I don't see why. I don't even know what it means. I'm just sick to death of the left-right thing, anyway, personally. And the fascist thing, because it's just like I don't think they have a sense of historically what that word means, really. But and often I've got to say, when some people claiming to be anti-fascist, I see them behaving in a way which I'm not going to say it's fascist, but I'm just going to say it's totalitarian, or it's controlling, or it's dominating. And it involves threats, and it involves often threats of violence and actual violence. So are they meant to be the good guys, those guys, just for people talking or having a point of view? So really welcome seeing videos like Amanda's today, and videos about other subjects which are very contentious. Another one being, which I watched either yesterday or the day before, time's gone all a bit weird lately for me, on a different timeline continuum thing. And that was about talking about the transgender or transsexual transgender debate. That was a really interesting video. And as Tasha says in that video, and I'll link that below as well, I think what's happened is that it's a lot of things are so high, my phrase, high, like a high octane debate, is that often it's either becomes a sort of quite angry very quickly, or like sides very quickly, and that it kind of puts a chill effect on people's ability to speak sometimes, or they feel they're going to be attacked, or they feel they're going to be judged or named this, either they're phobic in some way, or they're a fascist, or whatever it is. And that feeds into what Amanda's video is sort of broaching and looking at there, is the idea that there's a willful clampdown on freedom of speech. I realise in lots of topics people can have very strong views, and I do. I just talking about that bloke on that thing I unheard the other day. And that's it. Maybe I've got to be more careful in the way I'm saying things, because maybe it comes across wrong. I'm not saying people shouldn't have the right to say what they want. I'm not saying that. They've got the right to say it, of course they have. And then other people have got the right to say something about that. And then that's just a continuation of the free speech. It's a continuation. When it comes to saying, like, it's got to be stopped either by law or by sort of extraneous means, by like somebody getting a gang together and shouting someone so nobody can hear them, or threatening them, or putting the frighteners on the venue to say you can't do this, which is often happens with people talking about the transgender or transsexual debate, and groups, particularly groups of women, they're stopped from being using certain online platforms. They're thrown off those, and they're threatened with violence. And there are occasions, there are instances of absolute violence, and often the police take a back seat and just sort of let it happen, and then there can be an assault on a woman just wants to say a point of view. It happened to be this one particular case in Speaker's Corner some time ago, and she's physically assaulted, and it goes to court, and then you've got the judge up there telling the victim of the assault that the victim of the assault has got to, admonishing the victim of the assault that they've got to use the right pronouns for the person who's assaulted them, and from their perspective lie about the reality that they see as a reality, that this person's male. So there's all that. As I put a comment on Tasha's video, is that, to do a video about this is, I'd want to go really, I've been watching stuff about this for years, and I'd want to go into all the different kind of, not that I don't have opinion, I've got lots of opinions on it. It's not affecting my life directly, but I know it's affecting people's lives in all sorts of ways. And I think I made an opinion say it's an involved matter. That doesn't mean I don't have a view on it. What I mean is I know it's very contentious, and it's continuing to be contentious. And even though there are certain laws can be made, how do you police that on the ground? How is that going to be done? Just for an example. Similar to the idea, you can make a law about not giving puberty blockers to children, but then there's people saying, as I see them on Twitter and in other places, they're going to find a backdoor way around it and find ways to get these puberty blockers to children. That's just an example for example. But it's a big subject because it brings in a lot of aspects of like public space, private space vis-a-vis public space. What certain elements of certain demographics think, how do you police it, health issues, what children should be allowed to, what intervention should be allowed to happen with regard to children in terms of medical interventions before they can give consent. You've got this aspect of what they call the I've forgotten the phrase now, it's the Gillick, is it the Gillick consent thing? It's something like about 14 years old or something, but all that's up in the air now, I think. And the Tavistock Clinic, that's kind of exploded. That Mermaids organisation. So I'm scattergun here because just to demonstrate it's like a huge subject. Sports, obviously, that it's let's face it, let's grasp the nettle. If men can identify their way into female sports, then it's pretty much over for female sport. It's just over as a competitive enterprise. It's just over. Pretty much all of them. I can't think of many examples where it wouldn't be. Shooting because shooting is a sport in the Olympics, isn't it? Perhaps that might not be because it's not reliant on physical strength or certain other physiological aspects, perhaps. So, but pretty much all, especially contact sports, also very dangerous and has been very dangerous. So these are real issues that people on one side want to skate over and kind of say as though it's not a thing, and it is a thing. Female players, apart from the unfairness of it just destroys the competition because someone's coming there with obvious advantages. And it's just a lie to say that they haven't got obvious advantages. The male body, that's gone through puberty, So if it's something like cycling, and it doesn't matter what kind of superficial things you've had done to your body, or you've gone through puberty, and that's got massive ramifications for your physical prowess and ability and potential. Could go through all the stuff about that, but as I say, it's like it'd be like a 4-hour video. But that's not to say, I wouldn't want to. See, I'm going to go on too long now, probably, because I hadn't designed to make a video about this. This video was meant to be about it. I'm glad to see videos of, like Amanda Gazidis' video today, questioning the idea what is fascism, as though when groups or ideological groups say, oh, these are the fascists, are we meant to like go, oh yeah, they are because you say they are? No, hold on, we need to ask the questions about, well, who do you mean and why are you saying this, and based on what criteria, and are you are you actually just wanting to stop people communicating with each other and communicating to the world at large? Are you basically wanting to stop free speech, really? Not talking about incitement to violence, that's obviously something else, but just stop people stop the opinions existing, as far as possible. And going back to the transgender thing, there's quite a number of people who have lost their jobs, lost their careers. Some people in publishing have lost their whole publishing careers for just putting some things out on Twitter or on Facebook. And particularly children's authors, as it happens, female children's authors have just got completely dropped because that industry seems to have been, by and large, quite captured by certain aspects of an ideology, which seems to suggest that you just mustn't have a difference of opinion even, or you mustn't want to fight as some people see it. And I've got absolute sympathy for it, for certain boundaries in terms of female spaces, female spaces. Another instance would be, there's so many, I've watched this stuff for years now, so I could just ramble on about it in probably a little bit of an unfocused way, but I'm just throwing things in there. Another aspect is that police officers, where you may have I don't know what terminology to use anymore, but an M to F, trans-identifying male or transsexual male, transgender. Gender I find a very slippery word anyway. I think it's deliberately so. I think it's deliberately slippery. Transsexual, that you get ostensibly male officers intimately searching female suspects, and that does happen, and it's something I personally think shouldn't happen. And I think that female suspects should have the right to say, I'm not being searched by that person, whether they identify as female or not is not. And fundamentally, if you've got a category such as male and female, they're pretty powerful categories, and if you can identify your way into them, or if you can do some cosmetic changes or take some chemicals into your body, or adjust your body through surgery, and you identify into a category as fundamental as that, does that not render the category completely meaningless in a sense? And I think that's what a lot of people are feeling. It means, well, what is a woman then? Anyway, I wasn't going to go down this line because I don't know why. I just don't want to go down to get too deep into this at the moment while doing the videos on the other subjects, but maybe you could do a video about all kinds of things. But I'm not prepared this, and actually, why do I need to prepare it? I kind of know what I kind of think in broad terms. None of this is to say that people should be treated badly or worsely or attacked or looked down upon. And what someone's subjective view of themselves is wholly to do with them. I mean, wholly within their purview, within their gift. It's their right to feel exactly to be who they want to be. It just, there are competing space or issues here, competing. I don't know if they're right, but there's issues of contention here that are legitimately being contended in terms of spaces, in terms of prisons would be another one. I think should be an absolute no to. See, I'm in it now. I'm in the discussion, because there's no point in dilly-dallying around it. Prisons, the female prison estate shouldn't have male-bodied individuals within it at all, in terms of other prisoners, obviously. And we've seen what happens when that has been tried. It's dangerous, and it's shown itself to be dangerous. Anyway, I could go on and on and on, but the main reason I was just doing this quick video today, off the top of my head, was to, well, I'll link Amanda's video below, to do with the quote-unquote the anti-fascist community solidarity rally. I mean, I wouldn't mind. I'm not going to go there because the buses are so hard to get there, and I can hardly get back. It's just I'm like stuck. But in theory, if I lived near it and I could get to it, I'd go there, and I'd probably might want to do a video. Probably end up getting called a fascist. Probably. I have been called everything online, Facebook and Twitter and other places over the years. Literally everything. And but that just comes with that. That's not that's not a cri de coeur. That's not like woe is me. It's just that's where we are in this world right now. Is that talking about probably anything at all gets you leaves you open to being called something, and it might be that you do fit with the appellation that they call it. Usually not, because it's something that's so broad brush, like, I don't know, or just the thought, what some people call the thought stopping cliche, which is something, well, you're alt right, you're far, well, what you got to, well, what are you going to, how are you going to define that? You're talking about economics? What are you talking about? What are you even talking about? I don't know. It's like these shorthand words that allow people to jump to a set of perceptions, and then it's like it's kind of mimetic behaviour. Then people go, oh, that person's. Oh, you see it when people get attacked in these crowds. Somebody else will come along and say that person's working for a far right outfit, and the other people go, oh, really? And then they get aggressive towards, and they've got no idea what the person has been saying or feels or what their values are. But it's like instantaneous. Oh, they're far right. Oh, are they? Oh, we're going to go for them then. And there's something in common there with that, with the witchcraft thing, isn't it? Oh, don't you know that's a witch? Oh, are they a witch? Are they? All right then, instantaneously they're a witch. It's the same kind of. There's no thought gone on. It's just it's like you've had it pushed in. You've accepted it wholesale, without going through any of your own thinking or perceptions or weighing it up. And that's what happens in these groups often that you see. And it can happen on both sides. I get all that. What sides? I'll take that back. I don't know what both sides are. How many sides are there? Do you have to be on a side? What is truth? Blah 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 blah. What is truth? That's another video. I don't know. But I'm just really glad to see, and I did make a comment on Tasha's video. There's a lot more I can say about things and about it. It's almost as though if you start saying something about a subject, and because you haven't got time to say everything, probably, people will assume you can't think anything else on top of it, or you can't have any nuances about it, or that this thing you said sums it all up, and that in a conversation or a debate or a discussion, maybe not even debate, like just open conversation, which is what Tasha's talking about when she said about remember the times when people converse about something. And I thought she may have said it explicitly, but the subtext there for me was, I think I'm talking really quickly, Anna. Maybe I'm just hyper. I've only had one coffee. Bit hyped up. Subtext there was, we can't talk without fear of being jumped on. So you can't well, you can, but then you might be jumped on. And it's like, why can't we just, in good faith, just open it up? Then I've got to examine my own behaviour vis-a-vis that character. And, but that's different because I said it. No, but I know what is it different? I've got to challenge myself there. But no, but yes, but no, but no, but yes, but no. I don't like that guy because I've heard everything he said, and he just keeps saying the same thing, and it's just, there's nothing more there. It's just, and there's just nothing more. But I don't want to. Well, I'm trying to get out of jail free here. I don't want people shut down. I don't want them shut down. But I do want the truth to take. I want the truth to be. What do I want the truth? Well, the truth is the truth, whether we're seeing it or not. I don't know. I'm getting myself into a little bit of a knot there. And that's part of the conversation, isn't it? No, I don't want anybody shut down. They can say what they like. I don't have to like it. I can hate it. I can deride it. I can insult them if I want, and they can insult me back. But then I know that doesn't go anywhere very far. The highest form, there's that, I don't know who did the quote, the highest form they do through these different layers, like the lower, the mediocre, and the higher mind. Lower talks about people, personages, and the next one up talks about events, but the sort of rarefied strata is about ideas. I kind of like that, but then we're talking about miscarriage of justice. We are talking about events, and we are talking about people, because the actions of Jayaram, for example, writing that email, saying Nurse Lucy Letby called me over, and then writing the report in which all that's gone. Well, that is about a person and their motivations, and it is about an event or an action. It's not just about ideas. We got to get down and dirty with the people and the people and the events. What happens? What physically happens in time and space, haven't we? We've got to. We're with that. We can't be stuck on an abstract. There's places for that, the abstract, and maybe they all feed into each other, but it's not like one or the other. It's not either or, is it? This has been a complete gabble and a ramble. Perhaps I shouldn't put it up, but it doesn't matter anyway. If people hear me rambling and they don't want to listen, you just click it off, don't you? Just click it off. But props, as the kids say, props to Amanda Gazidis and Tasha of Tea Break of Tasha. I'll put the 2 links to the video below. And vive la différence, as the Germans say. And what's the other phrase? I like that other French one. Anyway, there's lots of them I like. Esprit de l'escalier, that's a good one, isn't it? Spirit of the staircase. I think it's where you, perhaps some of you know, but I just like, I like it. I like learning these little things. I don't know. Spirit of the staircase is where you're leaving somewhere, you're going down the staircase, and this is what you should have said to that person in that argument, or that contretemps, or contretemps, whatever. Wow, God knows. I'm trying to be French. Yeah, I've got to do the stripy jumper. That's the French thing today. It'd be better to be. I'd like to be French, but I'm not French. Anyway, that's all bollocks. I'm talking crap now. But that's all right as well. That's all right as well. No? Breathe and breathe and breathe. I'm going to do an ASMR video after this, where you get little bits of material or a little bit of wool or something and rub it against a bit of leather, or I don't know what they do. I got into the thing of watching some of those, the ASMR. I think they talk quite slowly and gently, and now you're doing all right. Just take your time. I need something to rub against something else. Well, I'll work on that. I didn't prepare, but ASMR, I forgot what it stands for, but it's good stuff. I think there was a big flare up of it once, and so I've got to slow down again, just into that ASMR voice. Just to know that where you are is the right place. You're in the right place right now, doing the right thing, watching the right video. You're liking the video. You're not. I'm just kidding, honestly. Take it easy out there. It's a strange old place, and have a great weekend. Take care. Bye.